The people in our lives are the ones that help create our memories and shape us into the people we are today. But what happens when those people are no longer with us? What happens to us when those loved ones are gone? Do you think time heals everything?
Yes, because when it first happened, you're very sad and very emotional. And as time passes, you realize that as every day goes by, it gets a little easier. Not that they're not here, but it just gets a little easier.
I think as time goes by, it maybe gets a little easier, although the milestones that you might reach in life or want to share with the person that you've lost sometimes brings back the memories of them being here, and it makes it a little harder that you can't share it with them.
On holidays, how do you feel?
Holidays, the first couple were very tough because we had so many family traditions. But I know how much my parents both loved the holidays, and we just try to hold up the traditions that they had. So it's almost as if they're still here and they're still very big part of it.
For myself, I lost both my parents, and holidays were really special to them, so we try to uphold all the traditions that they've had. We all get together, we laugh, we reminisce about them. It was sad in the beginning, and even though we still think about them, but we also talk and remember all the happy times together. So holidays have gotten easier over time.
Holidays are definitely different, especially the people that I've lost are people that on holidays we would have a lot of traditions with. We would go over to their house and it would all just be like a big family event. So now that they're gone, it's definitely changed. We try to keep up the same traditions and memories and the same happenings on the holidays, but it definitely doesn't feel the same. I definitely miss it a lot. That's typically when I miss my grandparents the most. But we just try to move forward and make new memories and enjoy the ones that we've had.
How important was the funeral?
When my Aunt Nina passed away, she was going to be cremated. And because it is such a long journey from our house to her house, they were just going to cremate her and then maybe just have a little ceremony whenever we got back there. But we explained to our parents how important it was for us to see her before they cremated her, to say goodbye. So we were able to have the funeral and say goodbye. She was cremated, and then they buried her next to her mom and dad. So it was closure for us. So it was very important.
The funeral is important because everybody gets together and supports you during the time where you kind of need it. It also brings kind of a closure, but at that point too, you get to go through memories with people. Everybody comes and talks about the person. So I think it's really important. It shows you different sides of the person, all the things that they may have done to help others and support others.
So I hate funerals. I do not like them. I wish I never had to go to one. I'm the type of person that I like to internalize everything. I like to be by myself when I'm like grieving. And I always thought funerals were just kind of weird. Like while I'm alive, I don't want people to come up to me and like touching me and stuff like that. And I definitely don't want that when I'm dead. Like don't come up and like hold my hand. And I get some people need the closure, but personally, that's just where I'm at with that. I also thought that they're always a little disrespectful for the like immediate family and friends. They make all at funerals, they make all like the closest loved ones stand up at the casket and kind of like be greeted by everyone and be hugged. And I feel like that's just, sometimes you just need time to kind of process things yourself, and let alone having just like person after person kind of like open up that wound and have all that emotion flowing. It's just not something that I'm comfortable with. I personally, during the funerals that I always stayed in the back, just kind of taking the time for myself to just process, just think, go over memories and stuff. I really didn't want anyone to kind of be around me because that would bring out more emotion.
Are you the same person as you were when they were alive?
No, I think every time somebody dies in your life, it changes you a little bit. Little piece of your heart dies with them. But it's good to know that one day we'll all be together again.
I don't believe I changed since their passing. My parents passed away a month apart, and I try to keep the values and the traditions that they have installed in the family. We try to keep them the same, so I try to live my life the way that I was brought up. So I don't believe I've really changed.
I think I'm a different person from when it happened. I know that as you get older and as you go through life, you're going to go down different paths and you're going to change no matter what. I don't know for sure if that was a product of their passing away, but I definitely think that their death had impacted me a lot and had changed the way I was. Definitely, it was the first person in my life close to me that had passed away, which is a big deal for anyone to have like your first loss. And I think it definitely made me think about life a little bit differently and kind of cherish it a little bit more. I know also during that time that they had passed, I was in school and I wasn't really sure what I wanted to do with my life. And I was in the hospital for months and months with my grandma, and just seeing all the nurses and doctors kind of rally around her and try and heal her it was inspiring. And after they passed, I ended up going to work in the medical field, and I love it. So that kind of had a weird impact on my life. So yeah, I think everyone changes, and some of it is the death, some of it is just the way that life takes you. But either way, you're going to come out a different person.
Do you ever think or say, why has this happened to me? Why are they gone?
No, because my father died by having a massive heart attack and cancer. And his ending was very traumatic. So when my mother died a month later, I asked God to take my mother peacefully, and then I would never ask him why.
I think when it first happens, you go through that emotion and wonder why it happened, and over time you try to reason with it.
Only people close to me that I've lost have been my grandparents, and while it was incredibly sad and terrible, you understand you can't unfortunately have people around forever, and you just cherish the time you had with them, but it was never a case of why is this happening to me.